imposed order, violence is understood to be the most frequent response, and the most rational when confronting the unknown, the catastrophic, the wild, wanton, or incorrigible. Rational responses may be censure, incarceration in holding camps, prisons, or death, singly or in war. There is, however, a third response to chaos, which I have not heard about, which is stillness. Such stillness can be passivity and dumbfoundedness. It can be paralytic fear. But it can also be art. Those writers plying their craft near to or far from the throne of raw power, of military power, of empire building and counting houses, writers who construct meaning in the face of chaos, must be nurtured, protected. And it is right that such protection be initiated by other writers. And it is imperative not only to save the besieged writers, but to save ourselves. The thought that leads me to contemplate with dread the erasure of other voices, of unwritten novels, poems whispered or swallowed for fear of being overheard by the wrong people, outlawed languages flourishing underground, essayists' questions challenging authority never being posed, unstaged plays, canceled films, that thought is a nightmare. As though a whole universe is being described in invisible ink. Certain kinds of trauma visited on peoples are so deep, so cruel, that unlike money, unlike vengeance, even unlike justice or rights, or the goodwill of others, only writers can translate such trauma and turn sorrow into meaning, sharpening the moral imagination. A writer's life and work are not a gift to mankind. They are its necessity. Part 1. The Foreigner's Home. The Dead of September 11. Some have God's words. Others have songs of comfort for the bereaved. If I can pluck up courage here, I would like to speak directly to the dead, the September dead. Those children of ancestors born in every continent on the planet, Asia, Europe, Africa, the Americas, born of ancestors who wore kilts, obies, saris, geles, wide straw hats, yarmulkes, goatskin, wooden shoes, feathers, and cloths to cover their hair. But I would not say a word until I could set aside all I know or believe about nations, war, leaders, the governed and ungovernable, all I suspect about armor and entrails. First I would freshen my tongue, abandon sentences crafted to no evil, wanton or studied, explosive or quietly sinister. Whether born of a sated appetite or hunger, of vengeance or the simple compulsion to stand up before falling down, I would purge my language of hyperbole, of its eagerness to analyze the levels of wickedness, ranking them, calculating their higher or lower status among others of its kind. Speaking to the broken and the dead is too difficult for a mouth full of blood, too holy an act for impure thoughts, because the dead are free, absolute. They cannot be seduced by blitz. To speak to you, the dead of September, I must not claim false intimacy or summon an overheated heart glazed just in time for a camera. I must be steady and I must be clear, knowing all the time that I have nothing to say, no words stronger than the steel that pressed you into itself, no scripture older or more elegant than the ancient atoms you have become. And I have nothing to give, either, except this gesture, this thread thrown between your humanity and mine. I want to hold you in my arms, and as your soul got shot of its box of flesh, to understand.